Well, I'm taking a risk by being this vulnerable on the internet, but I wanted to share just like a real, raw update. I just got my first treatment this morning. It's 12:41 Eastern time right now, and I had my prolotherapy appointment scheduled for 8 and probably didn't start until like around 9. First of all, I want to say the nurses were amazing and Dr. Hauser was amazing. I had some questions and things before that I was asking my nurse, and just gave me like a good kind of understanding. I probably should have asked questions before the day of, because I didn't know that I was supposed to eat before. When he asked me, when was the last time you ate, I said, oh, I haven't eaten today. Should I eat something now? And he was like, yes. So in the room, I had some snacks with me. So I ate 2 meat sticks and then a banana, because he said it's really important for the treatment. It needs that protein to kind of work off of. He just tried to give me expectations of how I would feel after. He said I would be really, really stiff in my neck. Feel like I have like a rod in my neck. I'm just really, really stiff and very sore in my neck and upper shoulders and stuff. And just try not to like turn my head very much because I can't. It just feels really stiff. And so I'm just trying to take it easy. I've got a heating pad on right now because I'm not supposed to do any ice. I am not supposed to do any anti-inflammatories because that would counteract with the treatment, because the treatment is supposed to cause the inflammation to get your body to naturally heal itself. Just to recap, I thought it was gonna be like a lot easier than it was. I wasn't totally sure what to expect. So now I know. Once we were ready for the treatment, the nurse had put some numbing cream on my neck. Dr. Hauser came in and just got started and had like 22 gauge needles. If that freaks people out that I told you that detail, sorry. But that's what he used, pretty long needles, and did the injections in my neck. And I was doing really well. The numbing cream was great. I was just breathing deep and slow, and I was just talking myself through it, just trying to stay really still and really calm and really relaxed as much as I could. I had to kind of like tuck my chin in so he could get a better reach of all of my neck, and he was using ultrasound to help direct him and make sure he was getting all the right areas. I have a little video of that process if anyone is interested. It doesn't show up close, and it doesn't show any blood or anything. Dr. Hauser started the injections, and on the paper that I initialed, it said anywhere to like 40 injections, and I don't know if it was that many, but he was going fast, and he does this all the time, so he was just going, and I was just breathing through it and telling myself, like, you got this, it's not gonna last forever. Like, I've had other kind of injections before in different areas, like trigger point injections I've had before, and so don't like deathly scare me or anything, but not fun. But I was doing really great, honestly. I could feel the pressure. I could like hear it going in my neck and everything. I wasn't crying. They kept asking me how I was doing. I said I'm doing good. And then he got to my scalp, and I could feel it. And I was like, ooh, trying to stay relaxed, but it hurt. I think is because the numbing cream wasn't put up into my scalp. Maybe just a combination of the area itself and the fact that there wasn't numbing cream up there. It really hurt. And so once he was done, he left the room, and then my nurse was asking how I was doing, and I didn't say anything because I was starting to cry. I was like, oh my God, it hurts so bad. And then there was kind of like a change when I was laying there still face down. So my nurse had to go switch with someone. So they were both great, and Michael was great, and switched with him for a second, and then they both ended up being in there. So I just kind of took my time, and I just laid there for a little bit and tried to kind of wipe my tears. And then I needed to turn over so I could get heat on my neck, and I did. I just started to feel really nauseous, and I told them. So they kind of were starting to get prepared, and they had everything on hand. So attentive and amazing. And when I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And so they kind of sat me up, and I threw up. But I just ate, and I threw up a lot, like twice. Sorry if that grosses anyone out. I had my eyes closed the whole time because I didn't even want to see the throw up. When I was a kid, I hated throwing up. It was like the worst thing that could happen to me. I would cry and I just hated that feeling. And then I finally kind of like got over it when I was about 12 because I threw up at school. But after I did, I felt better. So I was like, okay, that's not so bad. And then I just stayed at school the rest of the day. No one likes to throw up, but it wasn't, it was okay. I was just kind of like trying to be lighthearted and kind of joke with them, but I didn't want to look at it. So I kind of just had my eyes closed. They had like a bucket there for me and everything. And they tried to lay me back down, I think. Then my blood pressure started to drop a lot. I felt like I was gonna pass out. They started like elevating my feet and getting like ice packs on me and stuff, put a fan on. I was really warm and they were just monitoring everything. I had like a little thing on my finger and like they're monitoring my blood pressure and everything. So I was not feeling great. And I think my body was just kind of in a state of shock, I guess, and just really stressed because also when the female nurse came in, she was helping clean up my neck and everything, and then she mentioned that there was blood, and I just didn't even realize with like needles there's gonna be blood. I didn't even think about blood. I didn't even picture blood until she said it, and she was like, yeah, the scalp tends to bleed, so I'm just gonna clean up this blood here. And I was like, there's blood. And I was like picturing like it gushing because she wiped here and I was like, oh my god, is it dripping down like into my ear? And I just started wigging myself out earlier, like right after when I was still facing down. So I forgot to mention that part. I think that was a big part of it mentally for me. I was just a little wigged out and my body was kind of in like a trauma response a little bit because it's not every day that you get stabbed in the neck with a needle over and over again. And then I threw up and nobody likes throwing up. And then I felt like I was gonna pass out. Everything was like getting black and my hearing was going. And so they were like really quick to get that under control. They had Dr. Hauser come back in because of my reaction. And he just like sprayed water all over my face and my legs. And I was like, whoa, they had me do smelling salts. So it was like a little chaotic there for a second. They all did great. Michael did great. He trained to be an EMT before, so he can handle those situations. But he later told me, he was like, I was really worried because your face was like white and your lips were gray and I was really scared. So that's not the reaction that I thought I was gonna have. I thought I was all gonna be fine. I think I was just really nervous, and then my body was just kind of recovering for a while. I was like shaking, like if you've been in a really stressful situation, like the human body just kind of shakes a little bit. I was doing that for a good while, even after I was kind of stabilized. They laid me down and then I got nauseous again. I had to throw up again after I had a drink of water. After that, I was okay. I didn't get nauseous again. I didn't feel like I was going to pass out again. They were just kind of stabilizing me and trying to get my blood pressure under control because it was really low. It didn't raise back up to the 3 digits until like right before I left. Not the experience I thought I was going to have. As Michael kind of reminded me and told the doctors, I'm usually pretty sensitive to things like if people say, this is rare, but it could happen, unfortunately, like sometimes those things happen to me. For another example, fasting, when Michael and I fasted a few months ago, we did a long-term fast. I think I got up to like 44 hours the first time or something and had terrible muscle cramps, like the worst cramps of my life. Started in my legs, went to my whole body. I was crying. I was in so much pain. Like that kind of thing, where it's like it's not normal. Usually people are fine. I think I had like some deficiency, even though I was taking electrolytes and everything. So anyways, that's just an example. Not speaking that over myself, that's always going to be how it is, but I had kind of a more severe reaction today. It's not that common, but they had everything that they needed and had it under control. I didn't pass out. They're gonna do an IV for me next time just because I had this reaction. I may consider doing the like laughing gas in the future. I just wanted to see how I could do without any medication, without anything. I just want to see how I could tolerate it, and then just so I know what to expect for the next time. Now I know, and I know that the procedure itself, me getting the injections itself, I was fine. Like I was doing it, I had it. It was just until it got to the scalp where the numbing cream wasn't really up in there. So I'm just currently really stiff and sore. And like I said, I'm trying not to turn my head a lot. I'm just sitting in the hotel bed here. Michael's been really great taking care of me. I'm so glad to have someone here. I can't imagine doing this on my own, and now I understand why they say you have to have someone with you. They had to wheel me out in a wheelchair just to be safe and everything. I'm not supposed to get overheated. It's really important that I stay cool today, hydrated. I was able to eat something just a few minutes ago, so I'm feeling okay. But that's how it went. I just wanted to update everyone. I'm hoping that next time will be a lot better now that I know what to expect. I know that I will eat hours before. Thank you everyone who has been praying for me leading up to this point. Again, thank you for all of your donations. This wouldn't be possible without you. And first one done. So we're scheduled for the next treatment to be September 2nd. So about 8 weeks from now. So we'll still be in Colorado when we do that and have to fly again. Now I know what to expect. And we're working on following treatments. One after September should be in Texas by that time. Should be a little easier to fly just straight from DFW to Fort Myers. After that one, then we'll be in Florida. So that'll make it a lot easier to not have to fly. We can just drive, we can take our time. I'm really looking forward to that because, travel can just be stressful and airports can just be stressful, but I'm trying to just take it easy. Rough start this morning, but we're doing all right. Thanks, guys.